Alright, here we are, their latest full-length album, Breach. This album is a huge win in my opinion. A lot of similarities can be drawn between this album and Clancy. It definitely does feel like a middle ground between the sounds of multiple different albums, except this time it's even bringing in Vessel and Blurryface into the fold. It feels like a nice meeting point between what the band would do on their old projects and their kind of formula of their Vessel Blurryface era, with the updated writing, with the updated production of Trench and onwards. Paul Meany and Mike Elizondo both came together for production on this album, obviously with Tyler Joseph helping on the production as well, and I think that was a pretty genius choice because you're able to get the sounds of Blurryface, get the sounds of Scaled and Icy, and mix them with Paul Meany's ability to create something grander and more gritty. I think a song like City Walls is a perfect example of that, where that track is able to be very catchy, it's able to have a lot of bright tones throughout it, but then Paul Meany is able to bring so much of a serious, grounded nature to that track, and he really boosts Tyler Joseph's writing on that song as well, in my opinion. Paul Meany and Mike Elizondo are two very different producers with very different styles, but when they come together, that juxtaposition creates something really remarkable, in my opinion. Multiple mind-blowing points throughout this album that are so deeply layered, so densely packed with so many different ideas happening all at once that you would think it would be a little bit too much, but it never gets too big for its boots. It never feels like it crumbles under its own weight. This album has the songwriting, it has the performances, it has the pacing to be able to hold all of these things up. This is also absolutely Josh Dunn's album, dude. Multiple of his best recorded drum takes land across this thing, like Drum Show, like The Contract, like a song like Center Mass or Days Lie Dormant. He really gets to flex his muscles as a hip-hop drummer, as an alt-rock drummer, as a pop-punk drummer, as even at points just like a straight punk drummer as well. Not to mention how incredible the flow on this album is. I know it's like the smallest little thing ever, but the band even add the detail of having multiple of the songs transition into each other throughout this thing, which we only got once before with Jumpsuit and Levitate, and that transition isn't even that good. Now, I do have minor gripes with this thing, of course, the lore aspect that I talked about with Clancy. This thing is not very lore heavy at all, besides City Walls, The Contract, and Intentions. And I feel like the inconsistent sonics that the band bring on every single album up to this point does get a little bit much at points here, like you'll get two songs back to back that sound like we're in just completely different albums. But I do think this is one of only two albums that they've made where every song is at the bare minimum great. I know I didn't like Downstairs all that much when I first heard the album, and I had Robot Voices and Garbage at lower scores, but being multiple listens into this thing at this point, I think that every single song on this album is at the bare minimum great, and the band are able to bring so much fire and passion to every moment of this thing.